Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be with a unique character, leader, who's really inspired everyone around him. I really follow you and I can see that how you inspire the youth, and it's a pleasure today to meet you. And first of all, we want to know the leader contribution, COVID-19. So if you could tell us briefly about it.
First of all, thank you, for visiting us and talking to us, and it's much appreciated, your kind words. At Leaders, we took a great initiative in COVID-19. We have lived in this country for almost 30 years. So when the COVID struck us in UAE, we immediately thought that how we could be part of the nation's initiative, and that's how we put an act together. And whenever the nation decided that they wanted to put up like these COVID-19 containment centers, like World Trade Center in Abu Dhabi or in the region, we immediately took a swift stat action, like we got the bats together. Within 7 days, the premises were made ready, and not only just that, there was a surge in the PPE requirement in the nation. So I remember it was Ramadan days, and we put the team together, and we worked overnight. Sometimes the team worked for almost 36 hours together to put an act together, and we were able to deliver things in time. And that really, we thought that it was a great contribution from our end, but it was needed, and we stood by the nation at that point of time.
As we all of us know that the core of the leader company is innovation. So if you could tell us about the innovations, and especially now you are in the science park. So if you could tell us about the innovation in the leader.
Yes. Like early on in this year, when the Arab happened, we are the company which is known for bringing innovation to the nation again and in the region. And we introduced the AI, artificial intelligence, and how artificial intelligence could contribute to our sciences, the field of medical sciences. And we were able to introduce the concept of AI into radiology. And very soon, I know it may be a little late, but application of AI is running even into the COVID, the diagnosis of COVID by a simple X-ray. You can make out whether a patient is a COVID-19 or no. But artificial intelligence will go beyond the health sciences. It will improve all the processes, like for which we had to wait for a number of days. But with AI, and it's AI is basically nothing. It's a data-driven and applied into medical sciences. So it's something which we are really proud of introducing it to the audience here. And apart from that, one of the areas that we are working very strongly on the genomics, because it's everything. The future of the medicine is gene-based, and we call it as I'm sure you're aware of the precision medicine that's going to come now. Like that means like every person given a kind of a treatment based on their gene characteristics. So if the genes are measured, and basically, we can decide what kind of medicine is going to work on that. In a nutshell, that would mean that we can reduce the incubation time of the disease, and also a treatment can be faster, so the cure will be better.
Yes, this is actually, it's trending now that they call it the GNR, which is genetic, nano, and robotic. That it will be the future of in the medical field. First of all, congratulations for your new book, and really I'm glad to receive my signed book. If you could tell us briefly about the 11 CEO habits, to tell our audience what is the 11 CEO habits.
See, I choose the number 11 because that's the day I was born. So it had a significance in my life. Like I felt 11 was a lucky day for my parents and for me personally. And it's not just about 11 C habits. The habits have been described in such a way that contains a part of our day-to-day life. Like how do we act? How do we respond to a given scenario? And in our professional lives, like how do we really build ourselves up? Like from, I would say, when you start up your career. So the book is described in such a way, it's for everybody. It's for new interns, it's for a college student, it's somebody who's just starting his life, it's somebody who's a manager. And we believe that everyone in our life, he has the right to become a CEO of your life, CEO of your professional life. So how do you do, what common mistakes one would make, right, in the relationship? The book is describing, I would just feature maybe some of the habits saying that we call ourselves as giants. Like, in our life, we need to look at giants. Giants could be simply a book. Giants could be your peer. Giants could be your professor. It could be your dad. It could be your mom. Depending on somebody as a personality, you look up to them. They are your role models. They are the one who they teach you the basics of your life when you're growing up as a toddler and you grow up. So giants are somebody that you should always respect. Like, they should be your role model. You should always look up to them. So that's one of the habits that I've described in the book. Giants, who are these giants and what should you do with the giants? And another habit which I thought was very important is you build relations for life. Right? It's very important. When you meet a person, like say for example, when I met you first in Mejmouah University, I could relate to yourself because you built that innovation center and we were very proud of visiting you, talking to you. But that is just the onset of first meeting, a relationship. And today you're in our office, right? It's a relationship that continues. But if we work, imagine one relationship and 1,000 relationships, our world will become a different place altogether, right? Last but not the least, the book describes about enterprising, building the leaders for tomorrow. Like, we are looking at this point of time, millennials, Generation Z, because what will happen is we don't realize the world, 70% of the what we call as the baby boomers, they will diminish in the sense they will retire. The world will be taken over by millennials and then Generation Z. So they need to be taught something different, and that's come through this book we call this 11 CEO Habits, and they should pick up a copy from Amazon.com and read it, and it's really a wonderful tool. It's something, a book that you can talk to, you can relate to, you can get inspired. It's like a coach, it's like a mentor, and I call this as a successful journey of my life described in this book. And it's an amazing reviews we are getting at this point of time, but we would love to listen to everybody, their neutral views as to what they feel about the book.
Sure, I'm really happy to enjoy the New Year vacation to read the book, and for sure I will give you the feedback, and it's a pleasure to have it. Finally, we need your final message to youth. Actually, I follow you and I can see in the social media how you work with your employee, and I can feel that they are not even team. I can call them like they are working like a family, which is something that we miss it in most of the corporates. It's basically traditional business, but here we can see that you inspire them and you motivate them, you give them sessions, and that is really something different. So if you could tell us and give a final message to everyone.
See, when Leader Healthcare was built, the word leader was chosen for a particular purpose. Like, we wanted to build a kind of a entrepreneurs. In this world, like, hardly in the leadership team at the top, people have time to talk to the young generation. But we said, no, we are going to make it a difference. Like, a CEO just should not sit in his office. CEO should be able to interact with the masses, with each and every person from an interview process. When you pick up a person, you bring them, you groom them, you give them that professional taste as to what they can achieve as a success in their life. And finally, to make sure that they have achieved their dreams. So Leaders is like a kind of a company that has been built to build entrepreneurs for tomorrow, right? So they can be self-dependent, they can be highly successful. And what we do is we give each and every person in this company a chance to come on the stage. And that's what we do our 8 o'clock sharp coffee mornings, which is highly inspiring, highly energetic. We build a lot of enthusiasm in them each single day. And that's how they feel really good about where they are and how they are prospering, how they are growing. And we feel happy. My final message I want to give is like for everybody like who is in a leadership position, that life is like a pyramid. You reach at the top of the pyramid, you've got success, the fame, the money and everything else. But what it's important for you to make sure that you pass on the wisdom to the masses so that everyone learns from your experience and they prosper. And once their families, they prosper, that gives you eternal happiness. I think that's the ultimate goal. Message for youth is study more. I mean, there's a lot of knowledge around you. Participate, read books like this, and and spread the message of leadership around your peers. There's no age. I always say that look at example. If at the age of 30, if you did not become a CEO, I think you have a problem. We always encourage you to follow 30 by 30, 35 by 35, and achieve something that your parents, your families, your friends, your peers can be proud of you. All the best.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have us today here, and really it's an inspiring message to everyone. Thank you very much. And,
thank you. It's been a pleasure having you in our offices, and thank you for this interview.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.